Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, Prabhupada, Gurudev, Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jai Om Vishnu Padavasa Parivrajagacharya Ashtotra Shashimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Maharaj ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnu Padavaramaham Parivrajagacharya Ashtotra Shashimad Bhakti Siddhanta Sarasi Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Ananda Gori Vaishnav Vrind ki Jai. Namacharya Das Thakur ki Jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री द्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। All glories assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees. Guru Gaur. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tadho Jayamudhiraye Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtigi Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namah Nama Pangajanabhaya Nama Pangajamaline Nama Pangajanetraya Namaste Pangajangre Mukam Karodi Vachalam Pangam Langayade Giring Yatkribatamaham Vande Shri Gurum Dinatarinam Shri Chaitanyamishwaram Paramanandamadhavam. Hare Krishna, Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 18, the perfection of renunciation, and today's verses 1 to 4. Verse number 1, Arjuna Vacha Sannyasasya Mahabaho Tattvam Ichchami Vedidum Tyagasya Cha Rishikesha Pradak Keshi Nishodhanam. Arjuna Vacha Sannyasasya Mahabaho Tattvam Ichchami Vedidum Tyagasya Cha Hrishikesha Pradak Keshi Nishodhanam. Arjuna Uvacha Samnyasasya Mahabaho Tattvam-ichchami Vedidum Tyagasya cha Hrishikesha Pridakkeshi Nishudana. Arjuna Uvacha, Arjuna said, Sannyasasya, renunciation, Mahabaho, O mighty armed one, Tattvam, truth, Ichchami, I wish, Vedidam, to understand, Tyagasya, of renunciation, Cha also Rishikesha, or master of senses, Prudak differently, Keshi Nishudana, or killer of the Keshi demon. Arjuna said, O mighty armed one, I wish to understand the purpose of renunciation, Tyaga, and of the renounced order of life, Sannyasa, or killer of Keshi demon, Rishikesha. Verse number 2, Shri Bhagavan Vacha Kamyanam Karmanam Nyasam Sannyasam Kavayo Vidu Sarva Karma Phalatyagam Prahustyagam Vijakshana. Kamyanam Karmanam Nyasam Sannyasam Kavayo Vidu Sarva Karma Phalatyagam Prahustyagam Vijakshana. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Kamyanam Karmanam Nyasam Sannyasam Kavayo Viduhu Sarva Karma Bhalatyagam Prahustyagam Vijakshanaha. Shri Bhagavan Vacha, Supreme Personality of Godhead, said, Kamyanam, with desire, Karmanam, activities, Nyasam, renunciation, Sannyasam, renounced order of life, Kaveha, the learned. Vidu, no. Sarva, all. Karma, activities. Phala, of results. Tyagam, renunciation. Frahu, called. Tyagam, renunciation. Vijakshana, the experienced. The Supreme Lord said, to give up to give up the results of all activities is called renunciation by the wise, and that state is called renounced out of life by great learned men. Text 3. Tyajam dosha vityege karma prahuram manishanaha yatnya dana tava karma natyajam midi chapare. Tyajam dosha vityege karma prahurmanishanaha yatnya tava karma natyajam midi chapare. Tyajam dosha vityege karma prahurmanishanaha yajnadana taba karma natyajam midi chapare. Some learned men declare that all kinds of fruitive activities should be given up, but there are yet another sages who maintain that acts of sacrifice, charity, and penance should not be abandoned. 4. निश्चयं शृणु मे तत्र त्यागे भरतसत्तमा त्यागो हि पुरुषव्याघ्रा त्रिविधा सम्प्रकीर्तितः. निश्चयं शृणु मे तत्र त्यागे भरतसत्तमा त्यागो हि पुरुषव्याघ्रा त्रिविधा सम्प्रकीर्तितः. निश्चयं शृणु मे तत्र त्यागे भरतसत्तमा त्यागो हि पुरुषव्याघ्रा त्रिविधा सम्प्रकीर्तितः. The best of Bharadas, hear from me now about renunciation. Oh, tiger of among men, there are 3 kinds of renunciation declared in the scriptures. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmeridam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Mano Vishtam Savidam Yena Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Idi Namine. Namaste Saras Shri Chaitanya Mano Vishtam Savidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupagadavam Dadadi Swapadandiham Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Udapadagamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamsam Shri Rupam Sagrajadam Sagana Raghunathanvidam Tam Sajivam Sadvaidam Savadudam Parijana Saidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shivishaganvidam Sam He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagalpade Gopesha Gopiga Kanda Radha Kanda Namastude Tapta Kanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindaneshwari Shabhanusude Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpadruvescha Kripa Sindhubhe Vasham Padidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimade Bhaktivedanta Swaminidhi Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshadarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gauravakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Arjuna Uvaja Sannyasasya Mahabaho Tattvamicchami Vedidam Tyagasya cha Rishikesha Pradak Keshinishudanam O mighty armed one, I wish to know the purpose of renunciation and of the nouns order of life. O killer of K.C.11 Rishikesha. So, the last two chapters, Krishna had described several topics, Vedic actions such as sacrifices, austerities, gifts, etc., alone constitute the means for prosperity and final release. In 17th chapter, we have seen this ahara, and then sacrifice, then austerities, charity. These are leading to one first, a good life, a sattvic life in this world, and finally release from this world. So, and towards the end of the 17th chapter, we've seen that all the Vedic acts, the general characteristics of all Vedic acts is to connect with Om, to connect everything with Om. Om being the first meaning of Lord Vishnu, the second meaning Tat, and third is Sat. So every acts in Veda, prescribed in Vedas, like this eating, yajna, tapa, dana, etc., should be suffixed or preceded by the word Om. And there is a distinction made between the final release and means of prosperity. The means for prosperity. There is a distinction. Both are possible in Vedas. If you are using the Vedic injunctions, both are possible. Prosperity in this present world and then release from this world. Tat and Sat indicate that. Then the means of liberation, how the means for liberation is described, and the performance is possible by preponderance of Sattva. People who are abundant with the Sattva only can strive for liberation, not people Raja or Tamogunas, Rajasvik or Tamasic. And we have seen that the food, sattvic food, plays a very important role in increasing the Sattva in a living entity. So having discussed that, in the 18th chapter, Arjuna wants to know about abnegation and or relinquishment, renunciation, sannyasa, or relinquishment. Relinquishment is tyaga, or another word is abnegation. So Arjuna wants to know more about a deeper understanding of these two terminologies or terms, sannyasa, renunciation, and tyaga, relinquishment or abnegation. And these two words, sannyasa and tyaga, are the means for liberation. So Arjuna wants to be very specific, wants to be very clear about the meanings of these two words. He wants to know what is the nature of tyaga or negation, the attributing agency of actions to Lord, ruler of all. Then the necessity of Sattva-guna. Krishna describes elaborately again in the 18th chapter various topics, aspects connected with the three gunas. And finally, the conclusion is that only Sattva-guna is necessary. Others should be abandoned or given up. So this is the longest chapter. The final chapter is the longest chapter, and it has 12 sections. It has already been shared in the group. Section 1 is summary of 1 to 6 chapters, the karma yoga, 1 to 12. Then Jnana Yoga, 13 to 17, that is section 2. Then the summary of yoga ladder from section 3 to section 8. Section 3 is verses 19 to 40. The modes control all activities. And then the section 4 is from Sakama to Nishkama Yoga, 41 to 48. And the section 5 is from Nishkama Yoga through liberation to devotional service, from 49 to 55. This is describe the confidential knowledge. And section 6 is working in pure devotional service, 56 to 60. Section 7 is more confidential knowledge, surrender to super soul, 61 to 63, 3 verses. And section 8 is most confidential knowledge of all, become a pure devotee of Krishna, 64 to 66. Now again, three verses. And then that ends this ladder. And then section 9 is 67 to 71, preaching and studying of the Bhagavad Gita. Importance of preaching of Bhagavad Gita is given, and Krishna considers the preacher to be a most pleasing to him or most loving person. He loves that person who is studying Bhagavad Gita and preaching Bhagavad Gita. 72 to 73, 2 verses is Arjuna's is firmly fixed. Arjuna became fixed, steadfast. And the last 5 verses, 74 to 78, is Sanjaya's predictions. So this is the breakup of this chapter. And like we mentioned, the first, starting with Arjuna, is asking the difference between what is sannyasa and tyaga, what is renunciation, and what is relinquishment. He understands whether they are both the same. If they are different, if they are same, what is the unique nature of that? And if they are different, what are the different nature of sannyasa and tyaga? So he's addressing Krishna in 2 words are used here to describe Krishna. One is Rishikesha, and then Keshi Nishudana. Rishikesha means stimulator of intelligence also. One's control of senses, one meaning, and another is stimulator of intelligence. One stimulates the intelligence. And once you stimulate the intelligence, naturally, questions regarding the Brahma, this is supreme truth, it will be awakened. And like this, and so Arjuna is asking these 2 questions. Arjuna says, what the reason why I am asking these questions? Because you have stimulated my intelligence. And it can be characterized as doubts also. If that is so, you are the only person who can destroy these doubts. So Keshi is represented as, is also represented as doubts. And Krishna is famous killer of Keshi. So Arjuna is requesting Krishna to vanquish all the doubts that have entered his mind because of stimulants of his intelligence, again by Krishna. So in reply, Krishna says, Kamyanam karmanam nyasam sannyasam kavayo vidu sarva karma bhalatyagam prahus vijakshana. The Lord said the learned people know about sannyasa means to give up all actions performed for personal benefit. The learned say that tyaga means giving up results of all actions. So sannyasa means to give up all the actions for personal desires, kami karma, advancement, sense gratification. Those work done for personal desires. and other work is done as a duty or obligatory work pertaining to one's varna. Prescribed duties, you can say, the prescribed duties, which should be performed. There's an obligation for the living entity, the conditioned living entity, the conditioned soul has to perform this obligatory or prescribed duties for purification and final release. And there are other works also arising from personal desires. That is called kama karma. So sannyasa means to abandon all work connected personal desires, which means the obligatory work should now be given up. So kavaya means one who knows. So kama karma, like if you want to have what you call pure kama, putra kamo yajeda, swarga kamo. If you want to have good sons, you should sacrifice. If you want to attain the heavenly kingdom, you have to again sacrifice. While tyaga means renouncing the results of daily activities and kama karmas, both. But not to renounce the actions as such, themselves. The actions themselves should not be given up or sacrificed. But results will definitely accrue. Whatever action you do, even if you are not interested in action, also results, it will accrue. So tyaga actually means abandoning the desire for results. Not that we are sacrificing results or giving up the results or renouncing the results. No, results always accrue. But then it is what is sacrificing the desire, that this should be the desire. So Sri Ramanuja is quoting from Mandugopanishad 3.2.6. Vedanta Vijnana Sunishthartha Sannyasa Yoga Udyadayaha Chuddha Sattvaha Te Brahmalogeshu Parandagale Paramrdha Parimuchyandi Sarve. Vedanta Vijnana Sunishthartha, one who is purified by understanding the ascertaining the truth about the Vedanta, attaining the supreme reality, the truth about supreme reality by a knowledge of Vedanta, Shuddha Sattvaha, by sannyasa, by dint of renunciation, and they enter the Brahma Logeshu, the world of the dham of what? Paramrita. Paramrita means, Amrita means one who is liberated or free soul. Paramrita means one who is higher than this free soul. That is a supreme person. One who is liberated is called Amrita. One who is the supreme among these liberated persons is called Paramrita. Nityo Nityanam Tejas Tejasvinam. So Paramrita means the Supreme Lord. So one who is purified by understanding the Vedanta, by renouncing all the kama karmas, by knowledge of Vedanta, purified in mind by means of sannyasa yoga, At the dissolution of their bodies, parantakaleshu, parantakale means the fall of body, andakale, parantakale, parimuchandi sarve, parimuchandi becomes, what do you call, are absolved of all around. That means he is completely purified. So, by this, we can understand that what Krishna is trying to prove is that both sannyasa as well as tyaga have different meaning, have the same meaning, not different meaning, same meaning only. But there are some difference of opinion as to what is actually tyaga. So this differentiation is brought out in third verse. Krishna says, Tyajam doshavit ityege karma prahur manishnaha yajnadana tabat karma na tyajamidi chabare. Doshavit karma tyajam idi egaha. Ega manishna. Idi ega manishna. Manishna means the intelligent people, the knowledgeable people, the wise, which is headed by the Kapila, the propagator of Sankhya Yoga. They say that Tyajam doshavit karma. Because they said all, according to them, all karmas are infected by dosha only. Krishna also agrees. Krishna in 48, verse 48 says, he says in 48 that although every karma is having dosha, they should now be given up. Sahajam karma kaunteya sadoshamabi natyajed. Sahajam karma kaunteya. In karma, there is always dosha, but should not be given up. Because these karmas like yajna, dana, tapa is required for your purification. So that is the view of the second group of persons. They say that it should now be given up. Especially Jaimini. Jaimini is one of another seers of the six Veda, of these the six persons were contemporaries of Veda Vyasa, Shaddarshana. Among the Shaddarshanas, Jaimini is there. And Jaimini says such actions, sacrifice should not be given up because one incurs no sin from performing what is prescribed in the Vedas. The view of Kapila and others, other persons, are that there is always sin incurred in sacrifice. If you're sacrificing an animal, or if you're obtaining paraphernalia for sacrifice like honey and etc., there is always a sin incurred. But Jaimini others said that since it is prescribed in Vedas, there will be no sin incurring. The injunction of non-violence stated in the Vedas is a general rule and speaks of incurring skin for others' action other than sacrifice. Except for sacrifice, except for yajna, if you are indulging in violence, that will invite reactions. But if you are engaging in sacrifice, there will be no reaction at all because it is a Vedic injunction. So again, we can see that everything has to be done as per Vedas only. The injectional 16th chapter, as you have seen that Shastram. Tasma Shastram Pramanante Karya Karya Vyavasthido. Shastra means Vedas. So, if you are acting as per injunctions, rules, and regulations laid down in the Vedas, then you will attract no sins, or there will be no reaction at all. So, therefore, sacrifice cannot be criticized. This is a view expressed by some wise people headed by Jaimini, while the other people like Kapila, they say that no, everything should be given up because all actions, all karmas are bound with dosha. Not only kama karma, but others also bound with. So now Krishna gives his judgment in the fourth verse. He says that Nishchayam shunu me tatra tyaga bharata sattama tyago hi purusha vyagra trivida sampragirtidaha. So please hear from me now about renunciation or type or tiger among men. There are three kinds of renunciation declared in scriptures. So abandonment, abnegation, or relinquishment, tyaga, it is in three modes. Trividha. And what is this Trividha? This is described by Ramanuja. One as referring to fruits, two as referring to acts themselves, and three referring to agency. So action, fruits, and the agency. Who is doing this? Who is doing this action? So when you are doing a work, action, a sense of possession is there, a possessiveness. Before that, Krishna in the 3rd chapter, 30th verse, clearly mentions what is sannyasa. He says, Mai sarvani karmani sanyasya adhyatma chedasaha nirashi nirmamo bhutva yudhyaswa vigadajura. Surrendering all your actions to me with a mind focusing on the self. Adhyatma chedasa. The consciousness. Chedasa means consciousness on the self. So surrendering all your actions to me, sannyasa dhyasa chedasa, free from desire and selfishness or ego, then fight with the heat of excitement abated. That is translations by Ramanujaya. Vigadajura means the heat of excitement abated. In war, naturally, there will be a rising of Rajogun, excitement will be there. But Krishna says that you have to control that. Then do it as an action, dedicating action to me, because without having any desire or without having any selfishness. It means without having a sense of possession. Nirmama. Nirmama means possession. I am the enjoyer of these results, possession. What is the exact nature of possessiveness? Ramanujacharya says, those acts are mine. These acts are mine. I am doing this on account of their being the means of fruits which are to be mine. Because this action is a means to acquire the fruits which will be mine. So the action is mine, the fruits are mine. This is possessiveness. Bodhrutvam, Prabhutvam. Prabhutvam means these acts are mine. I am the cause for these actions. Bodhrutvam means the results are mine. I am the enjoyer of these foods. But Krishna says that the agency, renunciation of the agency is a renunciation of agency of oneself by ascribing the agency to Lord, agency of the Lord. What is the meaning of that? Now there is definitely an agency. Agency is in an action. Agency is in action. Without agent, there cannot be an action. Now Krishna says that renouncing our agency of oneself, renouncing the agency of oneself, then ascribing to agency of Lord, because Lord is acting. Because without the sanction of Lord, you cannot do any act. Without the sanction of Lord, you cannot do any act. So therefore, the agency of action is ascribed to Lord himself. So this is a renunciation. It is not that you are renouncing action, you are renouncing the agency of action as well as the fruits of action. So the three types of activities are referring to the fruits, the acts, the fruits, and the agency. Yaga is pertaining to the acts, the fruits, and the agency. And these three are again executed in the three modes of Sattva-guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna, which Krishna will describe from the 7th verse onwards. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Vancha kalpadruvascha kripa sindhubi evacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananda Godi Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada.